glitter of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
Starring that supersonic speedster, Rocket J. Squirrel, with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose, and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people!
Yay!
Now what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle!
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're gonna have a lot of fun! Come on and join us!
Sure, there's always room for one more.
Oh, quickly, we must get to the north end of Mucho Loma, for last time, you may not recall, Rocky instructed Bullwinkle in the art of wearing a disguise.
I look like the Bandit Zero.
Except for one thing.
My antlers?
Your branding iron.
Whereas Zero's had a zero, Bullwinkle's had an X.
Don't you see? Zero'll come riding into town, you'll jump out, and he'll probably be so shocked at seeing another bandit, he'll probably turn right around and never come back.
That word probably. Couldn't you make that undoubtedly?
There was no time for any changes, for just as we closed up shop last time, the object of their attention, and it wasn't Pinky Tomlin, rode into town determined to make more noise than he'd ever made before.
Yo-ho, town! Here's your Beat My Bandit. Come to make sure you don't get no sleep. Everybody, China rice. Eggs on the table. Okay, out of the pool. Here we go. The 12 auto is leaving for Memphis.
Hey, that sounds like Zero.
Sounds more like Daddy Warbucks.
Down the muddy main street, the noisy Desperado rode, poking his hot branding iron everywhere.
Here he comes. Okay, Bullwinkle, jump out and give him the shock of his life.
Bullwinkle jumped out and into the deepest mud hole in town.
Stay back, Rock. Don't let the Okey-Finokey get you, too.
He was on the verge of getting out. As the first rays of sunlight poked themselves up over the hills, the sun and Bullwinkle came out.
Hokey smokes, all night wasted.
Yeah, and that doggone Zero feller got away Bill Scott clean.
Not quite, senor.
What an agonizing situation to get free of a mud hole only to find a row of rifles pointing at you.
Say, what's going on here?
Please to step aside, little one. We only wish to shoot Zero.
Zero?
Where?
There.
Me?
See.
Yeah, but he's only dressed like Zero.
Don't try to confuse us. Aside from the silly hat, he is the spitting image of our hated enemy.
Despite the little squirrel's objections, Bullwinkle was unceremoniously dumped into the Mucho Loma jail.
The very same jail I was in episode 2.
Outside his cell window, an angry mob thought of taking matters into their own hands.
Tar and feather the rascal! Deport him to Bayonne, New Jersey.
Write a letter to his mother.
That's when Rocky brought the judge to Bullwinkle's cell.
Your Honor, he is not Zero, he's Bullwinkle.
I shall ask 3 questions. Numero 1. What would you call a Japanese fighting plane during World War II?
Zero.
Uh-huh. What was little Annie Rooney's dog named?
Zero.
Senor, you are the one we seek.
Yeah, but he isn't. He's too smart to be a bandit. Tell him what your IQ is, Bullwinkle.
You just slammed the lid on my coffin.
Where's our sheriff?
Asleep. Since we caught Zero, we can siesta.
I wish I could siesta. She lives in Frostbite Falls.
Well, I guess there's nothing anyone can do. Goodbye, Zero.
Goodbye, Rock.
Oh, here's a cigar in case you'd like to smoke. It is okay for him to have this.
What harm can a cigar do?
What good can it do is what I'd like to know.
Just make sure you light it near the cell window. You'll get a bang out of it. Understand?
Oh, if only he did understand, for inside that outer wrapping was a stick of TNT. TNT that could blow the back wall down and provide an avenue of escape. Will it come off? Don't miss our next explosive episode, The Inferior Decorator or Wall-Eyed Moose.
it's time
For 5 or 6 baritone solos in the key of E.
But
If not... Ooh!
now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
It was once spoken that,
Gratitude is a quality not limited to man.
though just why it was spoken, no one has ever been quite certain. For at the time of the saying, there lived a poor slave named Androcles.
My friends call me Andy.
However, he was seldom called Andy because
I don't have any friends.
Androcles was owned by a wealthy merchant who treated him cruelly and forced him to work very hard. From morning till night, he did the cooking, made the bed, scrubbed the floors, and mended his master's torn togas. And for the tiniest little mistake, he was punished severely.
Oh, hold still, Master. There's a fly on your nose.
Don't hit him with that, you idiot. You'll hurt me. Get the fly spray.
Yes, Master. Got him.
All right, that did it. Now you know what's going to happen to you.
No, Master. Not that.
Ah, but the merchant showed him no mercy. He made him stand in the corner for 2 hours. Time after time, Androcles tried to please his master and win his gratitude, but never with any success.
Come, Master. I have prepared a nice hot bath for you.
Well, how nice. Oh!
Was the water a tiny bit too hot for Master?
And, of course, he was again severely punished.
I can't stand another minute of this inhuman punishment. I'll run away, and I'll search the world for someone who will give me gratitude for what I do.
And so he did. For that very night, as his master lay sleeping, he stole out of the house and scurried away into the darkness. The next morning, Androcles was deep in the forest where he was certain his master would never find him. He was walking along his merry way when suddenly a voice called to him from a dense thicket.
Oh there, stranger.
Ho yourself. Who speaks?
It is I.
Androcles found himself face to face with the biggest, fiercest-looking lion he had ever seen. He was terrified and turned on his heels to flee and would have gotten away but for a huge tree that slightly blocked his path. Certain that the lion was upon him, he looked over his shoulder but noticed that the beast was simply lying there, moaning and whimpering piteously.
What seems to be the trouble?
I have a vicious thorn in my paw, and it hurts me terribly. Please have pity. Pull it out for me.
Are you kidding? If I got that close to you, you'd grab me and eat me up.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Honest Injun. Remove the thorn. I will be your friend for life.
The poor beast's pleadings were so convincing and he seemed so sincere that Androcles decided to take a chance.
Careful now, careful.
Hold still.
Oh!
The lion was overjoyed with relief and thanked Androcles profusely.
You know, I really feel he's grateful.
Oh, I am grateful.
Androcles was very pleased, for he had finally earned gratitude for something he had done. He bid the lion farewell and went on his way. Several days later, however, fate struck Androcles a cruel blow, for he was captured by soldiers and taken to the city and thrown into the dungeon. It was there that he learned that he was to be used in the circus.
Being in the circus isn't too bad. I mean, maybe they'll let me be a clown.
It isn't that kind of a circus, friend. They're gonna throw you to the lion.
This is sure gonna ruin my summer.
The following day, the stands were filled, and the emperor and all his court came to view the spectacle. A hush fell over the arena. Androcles trembled. The signal was given. The steel door creaked open, and with a mighty roar, a gigantic, ferocious lion bounded into the arena. The beast had been kept without food for several weeks to make him even more fierce, and he shook his great head with rage. The quaking Androcles prepared to meet his fate when, suddenly, he recognized the lion as the same one from which he'd removed the thorn. A wave of relief swept over him as he shouted,
Leo, wait, it's me, Andy. Do you remember me?
Yeah. You took the thorn out of my paw.
Right, and you were grateful because I did you a favor, so now you won't eat me.
I sure am hungry.
I know, but you still won't eat me. I'm your friend.
They didn't feed me for 2 weeks.
But you still won't eat me, will you? Will you?
Lion, 1. Androcles.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. So as you can plainly see, dear friends, the moral to this story is that if you ever do a favor for a great beast with long teeth and sharp claws, and he tells you that he will be forever grateful, don't you believe him. Because you can just bet your boots that he's a lion.
People, time again for Bullwinkle's Corner.
Thank you, Rocky. Today's poem is that intimate story of life among the royalty, the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. They look good, Queenie. What kind are they?
Soybean, rutabaga, asparagus, and turnip.
Turnip? Turnip tarts?
I used my health food cookbook.
Ooh. Well, on with the poem. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them clean away.
Stop, thief!
Come back here, you tart napper! The King of Hearts called for those tarts and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts gave back the tarts and vowed he'd steal no more. Oh, you don't get off that easy. You stole 'em, friend. You eat 'em.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Ooh, don't know my own strength.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Canada, where men were men, unless they were horses. And it was here in this secluded valley that Canada's most valiant steeds roamed wild and unfettered. It was from this vast herd the Canadian Mounted Police selected their mounts.
Well, Do-Right, I see you got yours.
Yes, Inspector, he's a beauty. Palomino, I think.
Tell me, what is that hanging down from underneath?
An extra saddle, Inspector.
The Mountie sitting on the cow is our indefatigable hero, Dudley Do-Right, decathlon champion of the 1904 Olympics, which were not held that year.
Well, sir, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll take Whirlwind here back to the post and give him a brushing down.
You do that, Do-Right.
For 2 weeks, Dudley put his noble steed through a rigorous training course. Jumping, trotting, saluting, everything that was required of a Mountie horse. It wasn't until the animal gave 14 pints of milk that Dudley became suspicious.
Inspector?
What is it, Do-Right?
I think my horse is sick.
Luckily for all concerned, one of the Mounties was an ex-veterinarian. It was he who labeled the horse a cow.
Do-Right, we are in trouble. Colonel Crimcrammer is due here tomorrow. As usual, he wants his Mounties to be mounted.
Don't you worry, sir. I'll be on a horse.
Colonel Ogden Crimcrammer was at that very moment aboard the Saskatchewan Express.
On a vacation, Colonel? No, going up to inspect the Mountie post. Got a few changes to make.
This is where our plot sickens, for directly in back of the Colonel sat that black-hearted rascal Snidely Whiplash.
Egad, this situation is positively rampant with evil ramifications. I beg your pardon, Colonel Crimcrammer, but the engineer would like to have a word with you.
Oh, really? Where is he?
In the last car.
The Colonel was already in the last car, therefore when he left it, he left the train. Whiplash, posing as Colonel Crimcrammer, appeared at the post the following morning.
Good to see you again, Fenwick.
You've changed, Colonel. Last year you were 6'3".
Whiplash was about to come up with a reason why he had shrunk when his beady eyes ran down the line of men and focused on Dudley.
I must be seeing things. There's a Mountie sitting on a rocking horse.
Do-Right.
It was the only horse I could find, Inspector. Steady, boy.
You'll have to excuse him, Colonel. He's just getting over a case of hoof and mouth. Get off the rocker, Do-Right.
Do-Right is the only man here who anticipated my new regulation.
What new regulation is that?
This one.
And Whiplash hastily scribbled an order stating that henceforth all Mounties would ride rocking horses. Naturally, when the criminal element heard of this, they ran wild. Inside of a week, Canada was in the grip of an unprecedented crime wave.
Do-Right, the Canadian National Bank has just been robbed. Go get him.
But it was a little difficult to go get him when your horse merely rocked back and forth. Hours passed, and the situation grew more tense.
Any sign of the bank robbers, Do-Right?
Not yet, Inspector, but I'm on their trail.
At that rate, the only way a criminal would be caught was if he happened to come to the post, which is exactly what happened. The bank robbers, loaded with Canadian clubs and carrying sacks of money, darted inside the gate, hoping to use the post as a hideout. Luckily for them, they blundered into Dudley.
You men see any bank robbers?
They were too shocked to answer.
Never mind. I'll get them anyway. Onward, boy! Onward!
The gang proceeded to take the post over. They overpowered every Mountie they saw, including Inspector Fenwick.
It is getting dark, faithful steed. We must return to the post and report.
The bank robbers, having bound and gagged everyone, were contemplating passing the time with torture.
I say let's make them watch television.
Yeah, turn on some commercials.
Before they could carry out their fiendish designs, they were interrupted.
Would you mind telling the inspector that my horse and I are still looking for the bank robbers? Oh, there's the inspector. Pardon me, sir, but... Yes, I agree, sir. It is cool in here. I'll throw some wood on the fire.
But in the dim light, our dim-wit threw not firewood, but firearms. Seconds later...
It's the compass!
And when the smoke of battle cleared, Dudley stood alone, victorious.
It's a lot warmer in here now.
The gang was carted off to prison. As for the Mounties, they had no time to relax, for the real Colonel Crimcrammer arrived and proceeded with his inspection.
Well, Colonel, as you can see, every one of my men is groomed to mount his specification.
Yes, but there are some changes I'd like to make.
Oh, what did you have in mind?
Well, to start with...
Ready, Rock?
You sure you know how to work that thing?
No. Anyways, here's what it was supposed to look like.
You may not realize it, but you are about to witness the stirring conclusion of a long story. A timid little minstrel was thrown into jail for singing during siesta. This so infuriated his Latin blood, he became the masked bandit Zero and rode through the village of Mucho Loma, keeping everybody up all night. It fell to our heroes to bring the noisemaker in. Either that or spend 99 years in jail. Bullwinkle, dressed as Zero, was mistaken for the loud night rider, and as we closed our preceding chapter, was languishing in a cell.
I tried to free Bullwinkle, but the judge refused. Finally, in desperation...
Which is the only way we do things on this show.
I gave Bullwinkle a cigar.
But I don't smoke, Rock.
You don't have to. Put it near the window.
Yes, the stogie contained a lethal stick of TNT. Rocky and the judge left the building while the befuddled moose examined his cigar.
Put it near the window. Must be a smelly cigar.
So saying, he struck a match, applied it to the end. What he did next was unbelievable for anyone else but Bullwinkle. He nonchalantly tossed the burning cigar out of the window.
Hokey smokes, that TNT'll never blow the jail wall down now.
The TNT exploded, knocked down a chimney, which landed on an awning. The bricks catapulted across the street, crashed through a window. The sharp pieces of glass severed the base of a telephone pole. The pole collapsed right into, you guessed it, Bullwinkle was free.
Run for it, Bullwinkle!
Alas, the muddy streets of Mucho Loma
English translation, much mud.
held our antlered friend fast.
So, attempting to escape the Husgau. Citizens, shoot him.
No, wait! I tell you, he's not Zero.
Okay, little one. We're gonna give you just 1 minute to prove that statement.
There wasn't a dry forehead in our group as our valiant hero struggled to come up with a proof.
You got 30 seconds.
One idea after another flitted through his nimble squirrel-like brain.
15 seconds.
The task seemed insurmountable, and then...
I got it!
By George, he's got it.
What you got?
Rocky didn't answer. He merely flew to a nearby wall, picking up the branding iron with the X along the way. Then, dipping it in the mud, he drew a large, muddy version of a tic-tac-toe game.
Let me see. X, 0, X, 0, X, 0, X.
Go ahead, Rock. Put another X down at the bottom and you win the game.
But it isn't my turn, Bullwinkle. It's Zero's.
The temptation was too great. Out of nowhere, the masked loudmouth appeared, and with a flourish, applied his mark to the wall, winning the game, but losing his freedom.
Senor Zero, you are under arrest for 1,000,000 years.
The trial lasted 3 weeks. Rocky and Bullwinkle appeared as witnesses.
You see, Your Honor, Guadalupe didn't know he was breaking the law by singing during siesta.
I agree. Okay, we parole him.
That is, if there is anyone here who will take him.
There was, and to this day, if you ever visit New York City, go see the New York Mets play baseball. Who'll be working the scoreboard?
Wish they'd score a run so I could take a break.
As for Rocky and Bullwinkle,
That was a brilliant idea of yours, Rock, that tic-tac-toe game.
Thanks, Bullwinkle.
Oh, don't thank me. It wasn't my wall you muddied up.
Senores, the judge would like very much to see you.
Whose wall was it, Bullwinkle?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
be with us again in another 30 days for another adventure with Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Well, it looks as if our time has just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop!
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right!
Bye now. See you next time.